Hello, everybody. Welcome to some more inconsistent Bookworm. And this one, again, this is weird. I keep watching the anime first. I will fully admit, what you see below, I did watch all what has appeared on Netflix first. But that was because there was one day I was just like, I want to watch an anime. And I was scrolling through Netflix and I'm like, oh, there we go. There's one's like 12 episodes long. I'll watch this. And literally sat there and binge all 12 episodes in one go. So, what anime did I watch all 12 episodes in one go? And then I will let you know I have watched the newest 12 that just got released. That, of course, is EdensZero. And yes, I am starting to read the manga. So, EdensZero, created by the same group who did FairyTail. I believe it's the same artist, I believe. Hiro Mashima. I might correct that. Might have a little blurb here at the bottom. That will correct me. So, what did I think of EdensZero, especially considering that there is a lot of connections, obviously, to FairyTail. Happy is still called Happy and is a cat. This time, Happy has shape shifting powers, sort of, in a different light. Gonna explain. I will say with EdensZero, anime and manga, fucking love this. This was so much fun. So, EdensZero, long and short, it is a futuristic anime set in a not really cyberpunk world, but I would say it's very obviously derived from some cyberpunk, ideas, especially those that you would normally see in a Deus Ex game or anything like that. Pretty much each person, or there's a lot of people who might have these things called ether gear. It allows them to be able to use, they even describe it as magic powers, nonsense. It's techno-organic enhancements. And there's also robots, there's cyborgs, shit like that throughout the entire world. In fact, Happy is a robot. That's how they explain that he's able to transform eventually into guns, which is the silliest but most awesome thing you'll probably see in a while. It's just so much dumb and fun at that point when you do see it. But here, where I can say it's fairly different compared to many other like futuristic set mangas or anything like that, there's no like this evil dystopian course or anything like that. This is very much meant to, I think, evoke ideas of what we originally had with Star Wars. Before the big issue was focusing on canonicity and trying to be scientifically accurate, which Star Wars never really was. And that was, it wanted to be a sci-fi space opera, which EdensZero is. It is this beautiful looking sci-fi space opera. First off, the main character of this, for lack of a better way to put him as a main character, I'd say he's like supporting character along with another character. And that is Shiki. He is a kind of naive kid who's been stuck on a planet full of robots. The name of the planet was Granbell. And Shiki was stuck there because his grandfather, the Demon King, brought him there and wanted to raise him amongst the robots, and kind of also was the one who gave him his ether gear. And then, eventually, Shiki, or there's a visitor to Granbell, and that is Rebecca, the other, pretty much main character. Like, Shiki and Rebecca both share a lot of the screen time, and a lot of the, pretty much a lot of this. Like, realistically, in this, we first get introduced to Rebecca over Shiki, which I actually like. I think they were trying to set Rebecca up more as the main character than they were Shiki as the main character. And Rebecca, it's the best way to put it, she's a vlogger. They call it BQBing. It's YouTube. She just does vlogs constantly. And she wanted to go to Granbell to see all these different robots. And she ends up coming across Shiki. And whenever they do realize, or to give away some bit of the story, the robots realize that this will be able to help them fulfill what Demon King asked them, and that was to help Shiki get off the planet. Because I don't know why Demon King came there and had no way to get off. That's not 100% explained, but it's a minor like little plot inconvenience. But they try to be villains. They're like, oh, we hate humans, and they're purposely trying to run Shiki off. Because even as he's leaving, they all are happy, and they express that they're happy that they were able to fulfill the Demon King's wish to get Shiki off the planet, because they do care about Shiki. It's one of the things that this does very well, and that is bittersweet elements, and that is that it purposely plays with your heartstrings at times, because the element that first they're trying to make him attack him and everything, it shows, and then you realize like, oh wait, no, they were trying to help him get off. In all essence, they knew that he wouldn't do it unless they did something to make him hate them. They hated doing it, but they knew they had to do it. And just them dying, though it's not really explained why the robots just die, but that's more just because you're trying to use science to explain, pretty much a fantasy element. Here, it's sad, but, but we are much the Shiki. We are this naive person who's only been living on this little blue-green ball of dirt, and we're getting thrust into this greater world because he gets to be introduced to this place called Blue Garden, which is pretty much a home to adventure guilds and shit like that, where he signs up to be an adventurer. So he gets to then go on adventures, does them with Rebecca. And though they're trying to go to I will fully honestly admit I don't remember the name of the play. It's literally the last chapter, and it's like the third episode of the series, or maybe the fourth episode. To try and do something and shenanigans. Pretty much, just long and short, the series is that go a place, shenanigans. They might be long shenanigans, it might be shorter shenanigans. Shenanigans happen. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's actually a fine enough thing. I actually don't mind that. It keeps the story moving forward. Because it never feels like they're just going there and just shenanigans just happen. It's that we're there with the characters. There's a reason why they're being sent there or why they're going there. And then there is a reason why these shenanigans have to be solved and have to be taken care of. That is cool. I like that we're actually trying to put forth some kind of effort into giving us a reason why we need to be going over to this area. It may not be the strongest reason in the world, but then why do we see the characters get more into more shenanigans? Oh, it's because these are selfless characters, because they actually give a shit about our people. They actually want to try and take care of, this situation. That's admirable. That's fantastic. That is character growth. I don't know what more we could ask for this. So, by the end of this volume, like, they go to a planet that actually is pretty much going backwards into time. And it's kind of insane. But it's part of the charm of EdensZero. Like, the whole charm of this entire series is the fact that it takes its science not seriously at all. Well, beyond the fact, obviously, people can't go out in space. At least, I'm gonna walk in space. But it also just has these characters just go and have a blast and go on adventures. Sure, you could call this FairyTail in space, but I think that's a disservice to it. FairyTail, I think, was very much like, oh, here is the issue of the next few episodes, and then it'll be taken care of, go back to the guild, and go back and go do something else. This feels like it is consistently just moving forward in each step, like each plot point that is at the end of one, end of a like arc, I guess as you want to call it, or an episode or two, feeds into the next one. It's episodic. It's fun, dare I say. yeah, I dug the hell out of this. The artwork, again, it's fantastic. Much like FairyTail, it's super stylized in a good way. And also, I think all the characters are actually somewhat fun and relatable to be around. Shiki, despite the fact that he's kind of a moron, he's not an utter oath or oof. Oaf is what I'm trying to say, and I can't say the right word, sorry. He's not an utter oaf like freaking Goku is at times. He's just, very naive, and he's trying to grow with the world that he's being introduced to. That's character development there. That's basic character development. Only Goku still doesn't know shit. It's like, people want to know why I don't like Goku all that much. There you go. Long and short. Goku's still stupid despite all this. Ugh. But yeah, I really like Rebecca. Sure, they purposely draw her with giant tatas and like she's in skimpy clothing. But part of her thing is that's what she says she likes. It's like, okay, that's what this character enjoys. Let her dress how she wants to. Like that's the reason why I don't get people like really giving any shit against the original My Valentine, like or how she wanted to dress. Like let her dress that way. Let her be in the clothes that she feels comfortable in. Is this a would I say that everybody's gonna love EdensZero? No, I think if you're a super like hardcore, like all science must be explained and everything person, I think you're not gonna like this. It's a little too silly at times, and it's a little too obviously like it's taken in science with zero grain of salt. It's like you're just gonna have to accept it for what it is. But if you're willing to sit there and just have fun, and only that, but have interesting ass characters, and also just have a blast, go on adventures with people, you will love this. If you like fantasy stuff, but you're always a little uncertain about sci fi stuff, this is a great stepping stone into the sci fi genre. It's very light in terms of its sci fi stuff. Like, at best, it's their ether gears, like the weirdest kind of thing. Other than that, there's androids, there's robots, and but it doesn't like, oh, well, here's, they all have these have emotions. These don't have. No, no. They're just all. They all have their own emotions. They are their own people. That is awesome. I love something that just took it sci-fi. I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna explain this to you. You can explain it to yourself. It's it's fantastic. The worst thing I can say about it is that I wish I could find more. And I wish more people did watch this. Not just, the anime, but also read the manga. I think it would be a fantastic manga. I think it can hold up into the upper echelon of some of the best mangas there are out there. I get why this is being compared to Fairy Tail beyond obviously the obvious, that they look very similar and by the same creative group. But I think this should be elevated like Fairy Tail. And sure, I know some people love and hate Fairy Tail, or some people hate Fairy Tail for reasons I yet to understand. Feel free to enlighten me if your hatred towards Fairy Tail. I want to figure it out. Even though I personally I love Fairy Tail, I was like I've read a couple of these. I've loved the shit out of this. Serious fun as fuck. But hey, that's my opinions on EdensZero. It's a fantastic book. I really think anybody who wants to get started into actually reading anything into the sci-fi genre, I think this is a great stepping stone if they're coming out of some fantasy related or anything that is a little bit, they're wanting something a little lighter in terms of a sci-fi book. Because I know some sci-fi, it's hard to recommend a Mobile Suit Gundam to me, people who aren't really hardcore into the war genre. I fully admit that, even though I still love Mobile Suit Gundam, but I know it's not for everybody. And so, hey, that's my opinions on EdensZero. Fantastic book. I'm thoroughly looking forward to reading more of this. But hey, that is this. Is a little step into this wonderful sci-fi world. But we need to step into some more worlds, so I will have to let you go, and I will talk with y'all later. So, bye-bye, everybody.